The ultimate goal of 99% of all the people today is becoming wealthy. Houses, cars, private planes, those are the first things that come up when thinking about being rich. People are thinking about the possible outcomes and not about the ways to achieve that. The mindset is what affects the thoughts you have, and no one knows that better than Robert Kiyosaki. The legendary author of undying classic Rich Dad, Poor Dad knows a thing or two about money, and he shares his wisdom with the world. Year after year, Kiyosaki keeps repeating the same rules you must live by in order to get rich. So, what should you do to earn your first million? Rule number 1. The more you give, the more you get.
The more you give, the more you receive.
There is a common misconception among the people you should always start small. They say, I won't invest more until I see the revenue. There is a fundamentally incorrect approach. And what causes such misconception? Fear. People are too afraid to spend more than necessary because they value their money too much. Somehow people think that if opening a lemonade stand costs $5, they should spend exactly $5. But to really stand out and succeed, you need to spend $10. You need to pay more to have better cups, better lemons, more powerful juicer, and all that. The product must be better than the other half. That's the only way. The same goes for everything. Real estate, a cheap flat will most likely still be a cheap flat in 5 years, but expensive real estate will skyrocket in value. Additionally, raising the stakes by investing more will make you more cautious, more effective with budgeting. Money attracts money, as wise people say. Rule number 2, mindset is the key. It may sound cliche, but your success is directly affected by your mindset. Insecurities, fears, burden, or previous mistakes, all that is dragging people down. To be a winner, you need to think like a winner. Assume you're already won. That's what every successful person says. You may not believe it, but it works. If you are predisposed to losing and mentally prepare yourself for failure, you won't use your full potential. As soon as the first difficulty comes, you'll just lay down arms and prepare to die. There is definitely not something a winner would do. Only by mentally preparing yourself for success can you find unique solutions to troublesome situations, intuitively adapt businesses or investment strategy, and act smarter overall. Correctly trained mindset allows making less trivial decisions, taking risks, going full throttle per se. Such a winning mindset is not something every person has. Usually we're educated by parents or society to think realistically, hope for the best, but accept the worst, so you need to break those stigmas. Rule number 3, chaotic times mean opportunity. Another stigma you must deal with is predisposition to losing money in times of economic turmoil. When a crisis hits, money doesn't disappear. They move from the pocket of uneducated people into the pockets of the smart people. You need to look for opportunities to save your money to invest. Clever financial decision can save thousands, especially when times are rough. Just think about the crisis in a different way. Some prices go up, others go down. This can be a perfect opportunity to acquire assets that people are selling to stay afloat. For example, buying a real estate during a recession is a very good decision because when the recession is over, the prices start recovering and rising. This way, almost every person can buy homes at low price and sell it at peaks. Smart person focused on achieving success will always look for opportunities to multiply assets and personal wealth. Be that person. Rule number 4, don't be afraid to lose. Fear is dangerous, especially if you're trying to start your business. Virtually any activity can suffer from being afraid to lose. The main wisdom every rich person will tell you, you can't win if you're afraid to lose. People nowadays are doing their best at not losing the test in the uni, not losing a job. They don't take risks. Education has put a very destructive idea into people's minds. Risking means nothing. That idea is what prevents most of the people from reaching success. Losing is a natural part of life. It gives us a lesson, an experience. It is simply impossible to win without losing. Dedication. Open-minded people create startups and businesses. They may fail, but only those who have the willpower to withstand misfortunes can establish a financially effective business. What are you losing if you fail? If you lose, you will still be alive and well, filled with ideas. You'll lose some money, but what's the point in having money if you're not using them to make more money? Rule number 5, educate yourself financially. To earn more money, you must know how they work. You must know how to manage your current money and asset, how to legally pay small taxes. Alright, let's say you have $100K a year salary. Taxes will eat almost a half of that salary. Bad purchases and ineffective spending spendings will eat half of that half, and maybe, if you're lucky, you'll be able to invest some money. This scenario isn't a winning one. There are numerous legal opportunities to lower your taxes, like starting a business. Signing business-to-business contracts in most countries leads to much lower taxes. Managing funds of your business isn't hard if you approach that process with diligence and dedication. This action alone can save you a huge part of your salary that you'll be able to spend on obtaining assets. Only by finding creative and effective ways to manage your money can you grow your net value. Rule number 6. Create and acquire assets. People now are worrying about getting a raise, working more hours, earning more. Money is not an asset. If money is not invested, they are just losing their value. Inflation and crisis will eat all your saved dollars, all that cash. To demonstrate that principle, let's look at the Bill and Ted. Bill earns $100K a year as a software engineer. He works hard and gets a second salary advance this year. He asks for raises simply because he wants to see his value in numbers. Ted also works as a software engineer, but he earns $70K plus stock options. Most of the earned money he spends on stocks and investing. Who will be wealthier in 5 years? Ted, of course. Assets. That's what makes people rich. Each penny earned should be spent on acquiring those assets, on diversifying your income. Make your money work for you. Rule number 7. Value the experience. The 7th rule is a natural continuation of the 4th one. Money shouldn't be your only goal. Experience and knowledge. Why do you think rich people became rich? They weren't afraid of trying again, learning from their mistakes. That's what the experience is. Learning from the mistakes. Each situation in life should be seen as a source of experience, a source of wisdom. If you won't gain experience, you will never learn how to make money. That's the rule. Embrace everything the life situation may teach you and then implement that experience into your own life, businesses, planning, etc. Failed business is something more than just lost money. It's a story of mistakes and errors, bad turns and poor decisions. Good business, on the contrary, is the compilation of a good decision and actions. Both types of experience and knowledge are equally valuable, so never neglect them. Rule number 8. Don't save the money. Saving, hoarding money is one of the biggest mistakes a person can make. When thinking about being rich, we all imagine ourselves surrounded by piles of cash. Most of the people see wealth as something physical, real. But that's not exactly true. Just look at Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Their bank accounts don't have billions. They have only a small fraction of their money in real form. Most of their wealth is in assets, properties, businesses, stocks, etc. If you want to save your money, use assets for that. Gold, silver, stable stocks, and real estate. Turn your money into something that doesn't lose its value over time. Transform flat currency into something real. This way, no crisis will beat you. Your money will be protected, secure. And if you do everything right, they will even bring you money each month. We already have a video about this, so watch it to know more about preserving your wealth. Rule number 9. Focus on achieving goals. Starting a business without a clear goal is the shortest way to losing. Every business needs a business plan and a goal you will move towards. Having an understandable goal is a great source of motivation, original ideas, and dedication. Let's look at the lemonade stand. What will motivate a kid more? Earning enough money in a week to buy a PlayStation or earning a lot? Unclear goal isn't motivating all that much. Good financial goals are detailed. Genetic goals such as earn more unlikely to push you to achieve that for a number of reasons. Basic, ill-detailed goals are ambiguous. They don't raise a sense of urgency and deadlines. Your goals should be specific, measurable, relevant, attainable, and time-bound. Seeing and visualizing your long-term and short-term goal is crucial for all business owners. To set these goals, you need to assess your current capabilities and how they could be improved. By doing that, you'll get a clearer picture of what your endeavor is capable of. And the final one. Rule number 10. Rich people don't work for the money. They make the money work for them. This is very cliche saying, but this is truth. Ordinary people work to pay their bills, to buy stuff, to save money in traditional ways. To them, it means stability, confidence in the days to come. But high salaries isn't the main thing that makes people rich. Most people people with high salaries don't ever become rich simply because they don't know what to do with all that money. Rich people are treating money differently, as an instrument, as silent workers. Just like companies employ people to do stuff, rich people make money work for them. By investing in assets and leverage, rich people make much more money than people with top-tier salaries owning things. That's what they do. They use the money they have to buy more things that increase in value over time. Short-term, long-term, doesn't matter. They acquire anything but the money or flat currency. Flat currencies are losing value while assets increasing it. If you implement these 10 pieces of advice into your life, that will be a first step to becoming financially independent. If you master these principles, that will be the start of a road to wealth. I hope this video was interesting and you learned something new today. Type in the comments down below what you think about Robert Kiyosaki's 10 rules for becoming wealthy. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming videos. Good luck and goodbye.